Cardinal Baseball on FSN Midwest is brought to you by Bud Light, fresh, smooth, real. It's all here. By Auto Tire. For straight talk and great service, you ought to go to Auto Tire. By Steak and Shake. Real steak, steak burgers, and real milk milkshakes. Served 24 hours a day at Steak and Shake. And by Southwest Airlines, friendly nonstop service all across the country. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. Back in Pittsburgh, PNC Park. Al Raboski, Dan McLaughlin with you. Tony La Russa's lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. A familiar spot for Mark Gritzelanek. He'll lead things off. David Eckstein on the bench tonight. Walker and Pujols here in the first, along with Roland batting cleanup. Edmonds, Sanders. Then Nunez playing shortstop. Molina and Matt Morris. And the first pitch is in there for a strike to the former Cub. 7:05 with the first pitch from the right-hander, Josh Fogg. And Fogg has really struggled in his career against St. Louis, a record of 1-6. His numbers brought to you by Advance Auto Parts, and this will be his third start of the season.
He's only given up 3 runs this year, and that is on 3 solo home runs to left-handed batters. Much more aggressive this year, changing speeds, but many more fastballs.
Fastball there on 0-2. Pop foul out of play. Sparse crowd once again tonight. We had a crowd of 11,220 last night. They're expecting fewer than that this evening. Gorgeous skyline of Pittsburgh. The banks of the Allegheny River. 0-2 the count on Gritzelanek. With David Eckstein on the bench, he was just staring at the lineup card of Tony La Russa, and Tony passed him in the clubhouse, and he says, you know what, you can move now, go to your stall. It hasn't changed. You're not in the lineup. We may use you late, but you're just not in the starting lineup.
Well, one of the things that David wanted to do is he wanted to face this starter. They went to college together
at the University of Florida. That one is popped into shallow right field. Coming on, Matt Lawton, and he makes the play. The defense tonight behind Josh Fogg, brought to you by Auto Tire. Here's a look at the right fielder, Matt Lawton, joined by Jason Bay in center, Craig Wilson in left. Bobby Hill is the third baseman, Jack Wilson at short, Rob Makoviak at second base, Darrell Ward at first. Humberto Cota is behind the plate, and of course Josh Fogg on the mound. And here's Larry Walker, a pinch hitter in the ball game last night. Delivered a key double that scored Yadier Molina all the way from first base. Hit sharply to short. Jack Wilson stays with it. 2 down. Walker retired, and it brings in Albert Pujols. Pujols was 0 for 4 last night. Did score a run as he was intentionally passed in the 9th inning, and then came around to score. As the Cardinals loaded up against Brian Meadows in that 9th inning.
13 hits yesterday, and yet none for Albert, breaking a 7-game hitting streak.
2 outs, nobody on, and Pujols looks at a ball. Home plate umpires Larry Vanover, Sam Holbrook at first, Jim Wolf at second, Randy Marsh, the crew chief, is at third. There you saw the numbers at PNC Park for Albert Pujols in his career here in Pittsburgh. Very good numbers, but off to a slow start by his standards at an average of 250. 2-0 pitch. That's a strike. Albert popped a couple of home runs over the weekend. He's got 3 on the season and 5 RBIs. The 2-1 pitch. Albert pretty well hit down the left field line. Wilson giving chase, and it is a fair ball. He couldn't catch up with it. Pujols around first. He'll trot into second base. Boy, Wilson really took an odd way of going at that baseball. And again, a newer ballpark, not much foul territory down either line, and Wilson couldn't come up with it, so it's a 2-out double for Pujols.
Actually goes beyond our sight lines here in the press box, and you see him slide, and the ball had to be right on the line. Can't be running full speed and then run into that padded wall, not knocking yourself out.
Pretty good numbers here against Fogg. 10 for 21. That's updated with that double.
Well, you talked about it. His career mark against the Cardinals, 1-6 with an ERA of 9.59.
Was 0-1 a season ago. He took a loss against Danny Herron, a doubleheader late in the season against St. Louis. That was the doubleheader in which Julian Tavares had the pine tar incident on his cap. First pitch, a strike to the cleanup man, Scott Rowland, hitting .222. With the exception of last night, the Cardinals on this road trip really haven't hit all that well, but have found a way to win. 0-1 pitch. Inside to Scott Rowland.
.325 average after yesterday's game, 13 for 40. But in Milwaukee, Cardinals only hit 200 and yet swept them in a 3-game set.
Take away the 9th inning, the ball game yesterday, the Cardinals had 6 hits prior to the 9th. As Rowland gets something to drive, he hits it high in the air to right center field. Bay going on the track near the wall, and he tracks it down. Good play out there by Jason Bay, the Rookie of the Year in the National League. A season ago, he helps out the starter Josh Fogg. Matt Morris will make his debut when we come back. I don't know if you heard, Al, but we have a new pope. And there's no score as we move to the bottom of the first.
I can hear the bells ringing now.
Yeah. Southwest Airlines starting lineup for Pittsburgh. Lawton, Wilson, and Bay here in the first. Makoviak is the cleanup man playing second base. Then Wilson, Darrell Ward, Bobby Hill. Humberto Cota is the catcher, and Josh Fogg batting ninth, the pitcher for the Pirates. And here's Lawton. .288 average, 1 homer, 5 RBIs. And it's a ball as Matt Morris starts out 2005 with a ball, and his numbers brought to you by Rico. And a base hit for Lawton between first and second. Now we mentioned that Matt Morris during the pregame show will be on an 85 pitch count. Close to 90 maybe, depending on how things turn out tonight. The defense behind him, Sanders, Edmonds, and Walker. Larry back in there. It's brought to you by Auto Tire. Roland Nunez, Grudzelanic, Pujols on the infield, and Molina behind the plate. It's brought to you by Auto Tire. Having said that, would you expect him to be more aggressive, in particular early in counts? Maybe try to get ahead with that fastball.
Well, you'd like to think he's going to do that anytime. I mean, he has reached the 85 pitch mark before, and we'll just kind of keep out and see how he goes. And I watched the Matt Morris, who early in the season last year really had a lot of trouble in the first inning. Kind of ironed that out as the season went along, but you know he's nervous. The butterflies are pumping, but now he's in a game.
Roland cheating in at third base as Wilson hits it in the air, pops it up. Grudzelanic back on the outfield grass, and he makes the play. And that's the first out. Looked like a curveball there to Wilson.
Well, he's real good 12-6, and it's kind of a little lazy. It's a hanger, but it hung up so high that he got the benefit of it. We'll see that pitch, I'm sure, as he wears down a little bit and be able to pull it down. One of the things that he's trying to do is repeat his delivery. Keep his arm in the same slot where all of his pitches look the same, but finish off his pitches out in front.
Here's Jason Bay. Throw down to first. Just in time as Lawton got his hand in there. See, Molina was gearing up to gun down to first. He has got a cannon.
A lot of times they'll put a play on between Pujols and Molina. But if you're going to be playing first base with Molina back behind the plate, you better be ready for that throw anytime.
You got it. First pitch was a strike. The 0-1 is fouled back.
Real good pitch right there.
In on the hands.
In on the hands, and Jason Bay has been a handful for Matt Morris. He's 6 for 9 with a double and a home run. But they set up inside, and it was down and in. Now that's a pitch where ideally you wanted a little bit more up above the hands, tying them up.
That pitch hit 90 miles an hour. Trying to get him to chase there on 0-2. Misses outside. Jason Bay, the Rookie of the Year, made a nice play in center. There's the numbers that you're talking about. 6 for 9, a homer, and 2 strikeouts last season against Matt Morris.
This kind of guy, when he gets hot, he can carry his team for about a week or so, but they're really looking for another big bat.
There goes Lawton. Throw by Molina to second, not in time. Hits the runner, gets away. but not far enough for Lawton to advance. And a stolen base for Matt Lawton, who was a 2020 member last year with 20 homers and 23 stolen bases.
Got a good jump on Matt. Molina has exceptional arm, but that was not a patented throw. Went off the body of Lawton, but he couldn't advance as the ball was in the vicinity, and Nunez picked it up.
Count of 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hit towards third, rolling with it. Quickly over to first, low throw. Pujols is there. That's the second out, and it brings in Makoviak. We did not see him last night.
Pitch there as Matt changed speeds, got the hitter way out in front, keep the runner at second base, and also record an out.
You talked about it during the pregame show. You see the numbers for Makoviak this year, off to a good start. At one point, it was May 1st, then pushed back when they thought Matt Morris would be available to June 1st. But he came back and felt great in spring training, and here he is pitching on April 19th.
Let's look at that curveball that recorded the out. See, there's a good one. Has him out in front, pulls the ball to Scott Rowland, and that's automatic out.
Good curveball there. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the curveball is one of those pitches where Dave Duncan would watch last year, and like you were saying, he just couldn't extend.
Right.
With the curveball.
Couldn't extend and almost cut it off and throwing a frisbee up there.
Good pitch. Just missed inside. 2-1 is the count. Makoviak played in a career high 155 games last season. He can play second base, third base, or any of the outfield positions. He's got a chance to put the Pirates on top with Lawton at second base. And it's 3-1.
Makoviak batting .381 against right-handed pitching this year. He's gone 11 for 23 in his last 7 games after going 1 for 12 in his first 3.
Count of 3 balls, 1 strike. Just missed outside. 2-out walk. Runners at first and second for Craig Wilson. First walk handed out by Morris. Only thrown 14 pitches here in the first. We'll keep an eye on that pitch count of the Cardinals right-hander this evening.
You'd love to retire this man on 1 pitch. No home runs this year, but he had a bunch last year.
Craig Wilson with 1 home run, 3 RBIs on the season.
29 home runs a year ago, 82 RBIs.
Got off to a torrid start. A season ago, in the first 2 months, he had 34 RBIs and 12 home runs. Last year was his first season to play every day. The locks are gone. He is a free swinger, nothing in 2 the count. Mike Gonzalez, the left-hander in their bullpen, decided to be the team barber.
Scott Rowland, as you see this year, he's going to play further off the line. And with Nunez there, he still makes that decision.
That one is pulled foul. The problem for the Pirates, they're off to a 4-9 start, second worst in baseball, is the fact that they cannot hit, and in particular with runners in scoring position, they have left them stranded.
And they've really not done a good job.
Swing and a miss, and a first strikeout of the season for Matt Morris as the Pirates strand 2. No score after 1. No score, top of the second, a hit aside. Batter will be Jim Edmonds, followed by Sanders, and then Abraham Nunez getting a start at shortstop this evening. Edmonds last night that got things started for the Cardinals in the second inning with a solo home run to center field. 4 homers, 9 RBIs. Those 9 ribbies, tops on the club. Man on deck, Reggie Sanders, just one behind him in that department. 2 balls and no strikes. There's Darrell Ward. You know he's got to be alive down there at first base with Edmonds at the dish. And Ward made a real nifty play on a ball hit hard by Albert Pujols last night.
A play that I think kind of stunned us. Not noted for his defense.
Just missing inside his fog, and it's 3-1. Count in the favor of Edmonds. You just ask him to be patient. Good numbers at this ballpark. Edmonds well hit into left center field, and that ball is gone. Home run for Jimmy. That's number 5, RBI number 10. Just like last night, a solo home run to start the second inning. He does it again this evening, and the Cardinals have a 1-0 lead.
Josh Fogg can't believe it. On the young season, this is his 3rd start. He's allowed 4 solo home runs to left-handed batters, and that's it. Jim Edmonds, Gerald Perry was talking another pitch down, talking about how they've never seen anybody other than Jim Edmonds take that ball and go the opposite field like it's nothing. He was saying 410, and that's nothing to Jim Edmonds, and he had a lot of room to spare on that one.
I can remember now 4 out of his 5 this year have been opposite field home runs, with last night, opening day, he had one in St. Louis that was an opposite field home run, and this one here tonight. Tremendous power to the opposite field, and we have seen that over the last few seasons from the Cardinal center fielder. 1 ball, 1 strike on Sanders. A vicious cut and a swing and a miss.
Let's see if you're right about where they've all gone.
3 to center, 2 to left. Great power, though, to all fields.
I think those ones to center, as you said, have been more into left center.
Right.
You know, I've always thought you'd be good as an owner. I just like to own the Cardinals. I just like to act like the Cardinal owner. Friday night we're going to be doing the game. How about Saturday and Sunday? You want to act like we're Cardinal?
I'll tell you, I'd like the owner's suite. It's one of the best viewpoints at Busch Stadium as Sanders swings and misses. Game used seats from Busch Stadium. You've enjoyed so many great moments in Cardinal history. You have a chance to purchase a pair, $470 per pair. Shipping nationwide, mounting brackets and hardware, bracket assembly instructions, and seats will arrive within 4 weeks of the conclusion of this season. The number to call, 421-2400, or online at stlcardinals.com, as Abraham Nunez offers at that pitch for a strike.
Well, you know, those are great seats, but you said the owner's suite? Oh, come on.
I'm looking for the owner's suite if you can pull it off.
How about if I told you this? This weekend, a limited number of individual tickets. So you don't have to buy the whole suite. You can buy 1. Individual tickets to the Cardinals owner's suite are being sold for the Cardinals versus the Astros games this weekend. One great price includes unlimited beer, soda, food, and access to the most exclusive suite in Busch Stadium. Tickets can be purchased on an individual basis by calling 314-425-0600. And sales reps will be on hand until 8 p.m. to take your order.
Nunez slaps it foul. Count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. So operators standing on by till about what, 7 o'clock back home.
7 o'clock, and then Saturday it's a 1:15 start. Same on Sunday, 1:15. How about that individual tickets for the suite?
So they're on hand until 8 o'clock tonight to take your
I
order.
would assume that's Central Time.
425-0600. 2-2 on Nunez, who got a nice round of applause last night. Former Pirate, number of years here in Pittsburgh. And he reaches out, hits it into right field for a base hit. 2 hits in this inning, and 3 in the game for St. Louis. Our Ford key matchup. Cardinals and Pirates this year. Cardinals, of course, have won 4 straight, and as you have noted right there with your telestrator, runs per game, a big issue for the Pirates this season. They've got 3 regulars in their lineup hitting below 200 to start this year.
And you saw how the Cardinals have dominated. 26-9 is their record here at PNC Park.
Here's Yadier Molina. Twice last night, Al. He scored from first base.
In the same inning.
In the same inning. Picked up a couple of hits. 3 hits to be exact. A run scored. 2 of them in this game or in the game last night. Average at 118. Nunez can run a little bit, but with that fractured rib, see if he wants to take it easy. He's been playing through that pain over there at first base.
The pain really has subsided dramatically. Pinch hit last night, hit a line drive that was caught by the second baseman. Got a base hit here today. I bet Molina felt like 1,000 pounds was taken off his shoulders.
And very easily could add 4 hits if not for a good play by Bay in center. That's right off a fall. 2-2, and he throws it into center field. And Nunez is on his way to third, so the Pirates not helping themselves. And there on the pitcher, runners at the corners for Matt Morris with just 1 out.
Ball was hit hard. Fogg does a nice job to field it, but then the off-balance throw, trying to get rid of it. You've got to get 1. Don't get tricky. See him like that, reached out barehanded, but he had nothing on the throw.
And Al, he had all the time in the world to settle and throw with the 2 guys on base.
Well, and particularly with Molina running, I mean, he still could have, center fielder could have thrown him out of first base. I mean, Molina runs hard, he just doesn't get there.
Hold the runner at first, that's Molina. Nunez at third. Third baseman Bobby Hill about 3 steps in on the grass. Morris hits it to third. Only play over to first. He can't help himself. It'll take a 2-out hit by the leadoff man, Gritzelatic. So runners at second and third for Mark Gritzelatic, who flied to right field his first time up.
Gritzelatic 9 for 27, a .333 average in the team's 7 wins. And all of his hits on the year have come in Cardinal wins.
Cardinals would love a 2-out hit here.
Pick up your teammates, but you also, anytime the opposition makes that error and gives you an extra out, you got to take advantage of it, put a run on the board.
It's been a long stretch here for Lloyd McClendon. 5th season in Pittsburgh. Pirates a season ago finished 72 and 89, their 12th consecutive losing season. And at the end of the year, he finished with 13 rookies on his roster. Tough to win like that.
Yeah, it really is. And of course, you're talking about they want a big bat in the middle of their lineup. Well, you have to pay for them.
They went out and got Matt Lawton, but then they traded Jason Kendall, a fan favorite, their captain for a decade here in Pittsburgh. Dave Littlefield, the GM, trying to make things work with a limited budget. It's tough. And when he stepped in, he was paying for past mistakes. Kevin Young was a guy that got big time money, but Giles, they gave him a contract. They gave Kendall 6 years and $60 million. They had Derek Bell out in right field. That was a disaster.
And they built this beautiful new ballpark, but they've never really been able to take advantage of the extra revenue because you have to have fans come through the turnstiles. A lot of the fans feel that the product isn't worth it.
2 balls, no strikes on Gritzelatic. Make it 3-0 with Walker on deck. It's a shame because you think about the relationship that this city has had with the franchise. 115 years they've been playing baseball in Pittsburgh. 3-1.
This is the 3rd ballpark that I have played in or broadcast from.
Forbes Field, Three Rivers Stadium, of course, PNC Park.
Had some great players.
Ball 4 to Gritzelatic as Fogg slams his glove. That's the first walk he is allowed. Bases loaded now for Larry Walker. Of course, we remember a couple of grand slams for Larry at the end of last season. Seventh man to come to the plate in the Cardinals' top of the second. Bases are loaded. Larry hit it to short first time up. They had him positioned perfectly as they had a little bit of a shift on for Walker as the third baseman is well off the line. Shortstop is near the bag at second.
They're all deep and not paying attention to these runners at all.
Pujols on deck. Watch out here, the 1-0 pitch. Walker into right field. That's a base hit. Molina being waved home. He's going to score. A bases loaded 2-out hit for Larry Walker, and it's 3-0 St. Louis. And the Cardinals out doing damage when the count is in their favor.
Well, they're just an outstanding team. I mean, good pitching will stop the Cardinals offense, but if you put up the guys that really can't throw the ball by you, don't have a pitch, a trick pitch or something, and they're throwing the ball in the middle of the plate, when the hitters have the count in their advantage, look out. This team can really put some runs on the board.
Now it's Pujols. He doubled his first time up. It was a bloop double. He needed that. Looks at a strike. Still hasn't got things going yet. In the clubhouse today, studying video of this right-hander, Josh Fogg, for about an hour and a half, was Albert Pujols. Albert gets underneath it. Long way to go for Wilson. He broke back. That may drop. It does drop. Walker on his way to third. A run scores and Pujols takes second. And the Boo Birds are out here in Pittsburgh as Wilson broke back and misplayed it. And it drops in for a hit.
Absolutely right. I mean, he just had no idea it broke back, and then it was too late. Then he's kind of given up on it, waiting for his shortstop to get out there, but that's a tremendously long run for Jack Wilson. And then he tries to get it back in, and Albert did not slow up a bit. He was about halfway to second base. They could have thrown him out there, but the throw went in towards the cutoff man, and he just kind of walked into second.
Pujols easily could be 0 for 2, but Wilson, on the first time that Albert picked up a double, I thought he misplayed that as well. He took a bad route to the ball and then had to try to make a sliding grab in left field. That dropped in for a hit, and then this one drops in. And Dave Littlefield can only watch.
Now, I'm sure Larry Walker said something humorous, but there's nothing humorous if you're the pitcher out there or Lloyd McClendon, general manager. And I don't think the fans are laughing either.
The ninth man to come to the plate is Scott Rowland. Cardinals lead it 4-0. Lloyd McClendon held a team meeting after the ball game last night, about 10 minutes long. He said, don't get down, don't get frustrated. We played hard. We played well for about 8 1/3 innings last night, and it fell apart. That's down the left field line and pulled foul by Scott Rowland. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Nice catch.
Tremendous catch.
They might be giving him a uniform. Reaches down.
Oh man.
Barehanded. Saves the vendor. They want him to play left field. Look at this crowd.
A ball and 2 strikes. Rolling fly to deep right, or rather center field his first time up. On a 1-2 pitch, he flies to center again. Cardinals strand 2, but they pick up 4. Matt Morris and the Cardinals with a lead of 4 runs, 4-0. Bottom of the second here at PNC Park, and this is Darrell Ward. Ward into deep right field on the first pitch, and the Pirates are on the board as he unloads into right field. His second home run, 5th RBI, 4-1 Cardinals. Well, he can do that. He's got some pretty good power.
And Matt Morris just going out there trying to get ahead, and it was a long half inning sitting in there. He gave up 35 home runs, ball up and out over the plate, and he gave it a ride. Matt gave up 35 home runs last year, tied for second in the National League, but he got much better in the second half.
Here's Bobby Hill. Hill rips it into right field. Walker going back, and on the move, it makes the play. Very smooth out there for the first out. The best damn sports show period. The greatest nightly sports show on television with host Chris Rose and co-host John Sally. It's the best damn sports show period tonight, 10:30, only on FSN Midwest. Here's Cota.
He was just activated today from the disabled list.
And Benito Santiago was put on the DL. 3 pitches, 3 fly balls. One of them got out of the ballpark. Edmonds drifting back to make the play. 2 down, and it brings in the pitcher, Josh Fogg. So this certainly helps out the pitch count of Matt Morris.
Just take that same approach and make him hit it to the deepest part of the field, out in center field, and Gold Glover out there will retrieve it.
You know, something that was overlooked the ball game last night was Jimmy Jurnell coming out of that bullpen and throwing gas. He looked good.
Well, and Tony La Russa rewarded him by Carmen Cali being sent out, and Jurnell stays.
Certainly makes it intriguing watching Jurnell, a power arm in that bullpen. 0-2 the count. Curveballs. See you later. Second strikeout for Matt Morris. 6 pitches in the inning. We head to the 3rd. Edmonds will lead things off when we come back. This day in baseball history brought to you by Schnucks. A 6-1 opening day win over the Mariners. The A's establish a major league record by winning 11 straight openers. The state baseball history brought to you by Schnucks. Edmonds, Sanders, Nunez for the Cardinals. Top of the 3rd, leading by a score of 4-1. Jimmy, a home run, a solo shot. His first time up to the opposite field. Season average now at an even 300. Off to a good start. 5 homers, 10 RBIs. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Jim earned his first ever Silver Slugger Award last year. 5th in the National League MVP voting. Won his 7th Gold Glove, including all 5 seasons in St. Louis. He's taking home that hardware.
Go back to 2000 when the Cardinals acquired Edmonds from Anaheim. And a lot of the fanfare was towards the direction of Ken Griffey Jr. and the Cincinnati Reds with their acquisition. And Edmonds has been hands down the best player, best center fielder in the National League Central. Back to that first at bat. Here was Edmonds ahead in the count and drilled it.
He's hit more pitches that have been down this year than we've seen in the past. High ball hitter, and obviously getting a lot more plate coverage.
Two and 2 the count on Edmonds. The Cardinals start tonight 7-4. It's that wide base that Edmonds digs in with. And to me, he seems to be just a little bit more open, at least his stance. But he's always had a slightly open stance and then kind of leans in as the pitch comes towards the plate. The 3-2. Swing and a miss. Took something off it. Edmonds out in front. Second strikeout for Fogg.
He's been changing speeds better this year, Josh Fogg. And see, with that wide stance, you kind of lean back to load up on the backside. Then it was an off-speed pitch and off balance. Now and then you got to give credit to the pitcher.
Fogg was 11-10 last year as Sanders, a swing and a miss. Reggie has not looked too comfortable here the last couple of days.
First Pirate pitcher to have 10 or more wins for 3 consecutive seasons since Jason Schmidt.
0-2 on Reggie. Pirates got Fogg along with Sean Lowe and Kip Wells. Remember this name, Todd Ritchie, back in 2001 from the White Sox.
He was a bust for the White Sox. I believe out of the game now.
He is. And Fogg, as we talked about, went to Florida. He was a closer in college. In the minor leagues, converted to a starter.
Well, the Pirates, from their 3, 4, and 5 starters, Redmond, Fogg, and Dave Williams, we saw last night, have combined to go 3-2 with a 2.23 ERA. The best 2 pitchers, the top 2 in the rotation, Oliver Perez and Kip Wells, are 0-5 with an ERA of 8.29.
2-2 the count on Reggie Sanders. Well hit to the opposite field. Lautenbach looking up and off the wall. And Reggie has himself a 1-out double. Almost got over that wall. It's 21 feet high, as we talked about last night, in honor of former great Hall of Famer Roberto Clemente.
Out away from him, the breaking ball, and Reggie wasn't fooled. Ball was up a little bit. Lawton kind of turned around a little bit, but it goes right off those seats above the National League scoreboard. And he plays the carom perfectly, gets it back in, but not before the double.
Here's Nunez, a switch hitter, with Sanders at second base. Abraham singled and scored in the second inning as the Cardinals plated 4 runs.
Good little pinch hitter last year for the Buccos. 62 pinch hit at bats.
Two and 0. Nunez hitting .222 on the season, 1 home run, couple of RBIs. Runner at second, and a count of 2 balls and no strikes. Abraham takes the ball with Molina on deck, 3-0. Fogg has fallen behind an awful lot here tonight.
One of the responsibilities for Oquendo, third base coach, is get that good lead for Reggie Sanders out there, but then to watch and judge the arm strength of the outfielders, have it already in his mind if the ball's hit to one of them, percentages of bringing him home. So you see outfielders out there. Jason Bay has pretty good arm. You know, Craig Wilson has a good arm, but it's very erratic.
Nunez on 3-0 drills it into right field. Sanders will be held up at third. Nunez is going to take second as they overthrow the cut. Bad baseball again by the Pirates. And Nunez is 2 for 2.
Well, you know, Lawton doesn't have really what you call a true right field arm, and then he makes the big mistake of throwing it at such a high arc, and that allowed Nunez to just take off and just run to second base. Oquendo, you see him, he sees that it's a 1 hop right to the right fielder, so he holds Reggie up with 1 out.
This defense tonight is terrible.
But that was very good on the part of Nunez to recognize the high throw and get himself in a scoring position.
Now the batter is Molina with first base open. Pitcher, of course, on deck with 1 out. Chance for Yadier to help himself here and get out of this early season funk, but he was better last night with 3 hits. Reached on an error back in the second, scored a run. He hit a bullet right back at Josh Fogg. An error has not been charged.
Yes, there has.
The right fielder.
Oh, that's right.
The first error was when Molina was
ball.
Right. I don't know how you can't give Lawton an error in right field for that.
Well, you can't, you know, it's just a high throw. There was no complications of it. Just a bad throw and better base running by Nunez to take advantage of it.
A ball and a strike on Molina. 2-1.
Molina looking for his first RBI of the year.
And he is ahead in the count with 2 balls and a strike.
This defense here, would you? And the pitcher spot up, would Tony put down the squeeze?
2-2. Not a bad thought though at that spot, and like you said, with Matt Morris on deck. Well, but the way that Molina's been swinging last night and tonight, you might want to give him that shot.
Yeah, and I think you're still trying to have a young player up here. You're trying to build confidence in himself, and by putting down the squeeze, you're telling him he can't hit that fly ball.
2-2 pitch. Fought off by Molina. And Tony La Russa applauding Molina from that dugout, encouraging his youngster. It was a pretty good pitch by Fogg to tie him up. Spoiled it. New life. Another 2-2 pitch. Got him that time. Big strikeout. 3rd strikeout tonight for Josh Fogg.
Throws him right there, but slider or something. And Morris and all the Cardinal pitchers are capable of helping themselves.
Morris is grounded to 3rd tonight. He's 0 for 1. Pitch count already at 70 for Josh Fogg. 0-1 pitch to Morris. Back to Fogg. Cardinals will strand 2 and not capitalize on the throwing mistake by Lawton and right. Redbirds lead it 4-1 midway through the 3rd. This portion of Cardinals baseball on FSN Midwest is brought to you by Advance Auto Parts. We're ready in advance. By Aflac, ask about it at work. And by Rico, how well do you print, copy, scan, fax? How well do you share? Al Raboski alongside. I'm Dan McLaughlin. 3rd member of our crew is Joel Goldberg. We'll check in with him momentarily. It's 4-1 St. Louis. Curveball, a nasty one from Matt Morris. And a strike to Matt Lawton. Singled, stole a base back in the 1st, was left stranded. The right fielder for Pittsburgh was picked up in a deal from Cleveland. Arthur Rhodes went from Pittsburgh to the Indians. And Lawton is their leadoff man here in 2005. 2-time All-Star. Most of his time in the major leagues spent with Minnesota. Curveball, he carved him up. Strikeout number 3 for Matt Morris. Let's check in with Joel Goldberg. Joel.
All right, guys, joined right now by General Manager Walt Jocketty. Matt Morris with a strikeout there. Your impressions so far?
He really looks good. He has a good curveball, and he's got his fastball. He's locating well, so it's nice to see him back out there.
Great to see him back out there. And how about your offense? Batted around in the 2nd. They did it last night in the 9th inning. It's just been such a great trip overall for the pitching and the offense.
Well, it has, Joel, and we've been talking about this. We need our offense to get started and going and take the pressure off the pitching, and this offense is designed to do that. So we can keep putting pressure on the opposing pitching and give our guys a chance to breathe a little bit. We'll win some ball games.
Thanks a lot. And we love Busch Stadium, but can we maybe move some more games to here? You guys have some success.
Yes, we do. It's a beautiful ballpark too, and John Lloyd, who worked on this ballpark, is working on ours, so I'm sure it'll be very similar.
Looking forward to seeing that next year. That's Walt Jocketty. Guys, we'll go back up to you.
All right, Joel, thank you. An HOK design here in Pittsburgh. Opened in March of 2001. And that's a shot into right field, but Walker is there. Wilson is 0 for 2. His struggles continue. He's hitting well under 200. Being a group of friends, family, or co-workers to celebrate the final season at Busch, come on down. Group tickets for $25 or more are on sale now. Group half-price nights are also available for many dates in 2005 as well. 425-0600 or visit stlcardinals.com for more information. And again, we want to remind fans that you have a chance to sit in the owner's suite this weekend. Operators still standing by. They'll be there till 8 o'clock. And the number again, 425-0600.
And the great thing about that is you can buy them on an individual basis. One great price includes unlimited beer, soda, food, and access to the most exclusive suite in Busch Stadium.
1 ball, 1 strike on Bay. Fastball in there for a strike. Morris looking really sharp here in this 3rd inning.
Not sure, but I know the Redbird Roost is available, and also Bill DeWitt's suite. So,
great opportunity.
You ever been to the Redbird Roost?
I have.
Yeah.
There's some fun things to do as far as the group rates, and a way to go take in Cardinal baseball with the food and the beverages provided. And always a key in St. Louis. Some air conditioning. Morris knocks it down, and they just get Jason Bay. 1, 2, 3 go the Pirates. We head to the 4th. St. Louis leads it 4-1. Cardinals about hit the Pirates 7-2. We start playing here in the 4th, and top of the order for St. Louis, Mark Gritzelanek with David Eckstein on the bench tonight. Mark is 0 for 1. Walked and scored in the 2nd. And a foul ball, 1 ball, 1 strike. It'll be Gritzelanek, Larry Walker, and Albert Pujols for St. Louis.
Yeah, and we've just notified from the Cardinals, quit pumping the suite. It's already sold out.
The owner's suite is sold out. All right,
sold
good.
Out in the first half hour.
Good.
So remember that 314-425-0600 for group sales tickets.
Right.
25 or more.
Still good seats available for this weekend and tomorrow night, as well as Thursday afternoon, as the Cubs will be in town for the first of 2. Gritzelanek slaps at the opposite field and foul. It's been a very successful road trip, as Joel and Walt were talking about. Cardinals swept Milwaukee, have a chance to sweep Pittsburgh, and the average time of the games on this road trip, 2 hours and 33 minutes. Been good baseball, crisp, well played.
See Mark Burley's last start could almost eliminate an hour from that average time.
That was unbelievable.
It was 139.
Yes. But if you look in the box scores across the National League, the average time of the games has been down. Whether it's better pitching or guys playing quicker.
Guys are starting to learn that if you lose quickly.
Get it over with.
Yeah. You can't stand out there and punish yourself.
Yesterday, Chicago and Cincinnati was 234. Mets and Phillies 238. Dodgers had a game at 247. By the way, they won again today after being down by 6 runs. Los Angeles off to a great start. That's a leadoff walk for Gritzelanek. He's on base for the 2nd time, and here's Larry Walker.
Big base hit. 2 runs scoring on the RBI hit from Walker's last time out.
And he's 1 for 2. Pulls it towards Ward. He boxes it. Hustling is Walker. He will reach. Another miscue by the defense for Pittsburgh.
Just trying to do things a little too quick. Trying to get in throwing position to get the lead runner at 2nd base, but you've got to catch the ball first.
It's amazing when things go bad, the ball will find you, won't it?
Yeah, and and that's perfect. That's a perfect play for a left-handed throwing first baseman, because he doesn't have to turn around and turn his back to 2nd base. He can just get it, make a sidearm throw, but the most important thing is to look it into the glove.
Runners at 1st and 2nd. Josh Fogg is thinking, great, here's Pujols. 2 doubles tonight for Albert. Good curveball. That probably is his best pitch, the curveball. It was much better last season, and it sets up everything else many times for Josh Fogg.
It didn't really matter when he makes good pitches. If they put it in play, his defense has been very, very porous.
Oof. Vicious cut by Albert. 0-2.
In on him a little bit. But we've seen Albert handle that pitch up and in as well as anyone.
Inning started with a walk to Grizzolonic. He advanced on the miscue at first by Darrell Ward. And there's Larry Walker at first base. On 0-2, Pujols hits it into deep right center field. On the move, Bay. A sliding grab. They made that one an adventure out there. And tagging up, heads up play, Grizzolonic from second to third. What's going on out there?
Well, he did that like he did it on purpose. The slide out there. Come over here and look, he starts to slide. Execute. He can pop up and get it back in quickly, but
good base running by Grizzolonic. You might remember on Sunday the Brewers had a play identical to that with Junior Spivey. And Spivey, instead of being at the bag at second base to tag up, he was towards third and had to go back to second, and it cost Milwaukee. Just little things like that that help your team out. Advancing now with one out for Scott Rowland. Hits it back to the pitcher. And he throws it to the second baseman, and a run scores. Wow.
It's been a little embarrassing.
Wow.
Every time you have a double play situation, you always see the second baseman or shortstop will let the pitcher know who's covering. And in this case, you know, you just sit there. Now, the pitcher thinks the second baseman is covering, but the shortstop is going to cover on it. He's going to throw it to this guy instead of throwing it to the man who's going to be at the bag. He's behind, and alertly he gets an underhand shovel pass. They do get the force out at second base, but this is getting a little embarrassing for the Pirates.
And Rowland gets an RBI on your typical 1-4-6 down in your scorebook. Roy McClendon just looking on. Now, it's obviously a mental lapse there by Fogg, throwing it to the second baseman, but he catches that, Al. He turns and he sees a white shirt and he throws it towards that man. He's got to know to settle and throw, and he knows before that pitch, I'm going to the shortstop.
Well, you know, you're being told, then you have a brain cramp, you forget, but still, I mean, it makes more sense to throw it over the bag, and one of those guys has got to be the responsibility to be there. You want to lead them, but you don't lead your second baseman that far.
You play like this against St. Louis or some of the better teams in Major League Baseball, and they will carve you up. 5-1 Cardinals. They've out-hit Pittsburgh 7-2. Edmonds into center field. Bay going back on the move in front of the wall, and he makes the play. Cardinals strand a man. They pick up a run. It's 5-1 St. Louis. Pitches by inning for Matt Morris, keeping a watchful eye on that. 36 total. We expect him to be around 85 here tonight. Curveball misses to Rob Makoviak, the cleanup hitter for the Pirates tonight. Very aggressive man at the plate. Free swinger. Does not get cheated up there. Walked his first time up. Was stranded back in the first. Good curveball. His curveball has been sharp tonight.
I think that's the one thing they noticed in spring training, that he was getting back where he could get the full extension and pull down on it.
Fastball. See you later. 4 strikeouts for Matt Morris tonight. Midwest Sports Report coming up after the ball game tonight on FSN Midwest. The measurables that matter concerning the NFL draft. Star of the game with Joe Goldberg. Post-game recap from PNC Park. All coming up on the Midwest Sports Report. Mark Mulder last night. Matt Morris tonight. Looking good. Wilson, a breaking ball lifted high in the air to center field. Edmonds will make the play. 2 down. Jeff Suppan will get the start tomorrow night against Carlos Zambrano. Our What's on Tap brought to you by Budweiser. Tomorrow, 5:30, early start from Busch Stadium. 5:30, Cardinals tonight, 6 o'clock, our game coverage on FSN Midwest. The Cubs and the Cardinals. And our first matchup with Chicago tomorrow, our Budweiser What's on Tap.
That'll be fun.
Always is.
Always is.
Darryl Ward, home run his first time up into right field. One-0 pitch. Ripped foul. Darryl, of course, the son of two-time All-Star Gary Ward. Darryl a lot shorter, a little heftier. Weight has always been a concern for Darryl Ward. First pitch strikes 10. Total batters faced for Matt Morris is 14 tonight. This is just inside and low.
Not only has Matt had the good curveball, his velocity isn't at a real high rate, but he's executed on both sides of the plate. Run the ball in on a lot of these guys.
Up the middle, diving play by Nunez into center. 2-out hit for Ward. He's got 2 of their 3 hits. That brings in Bobby Hill against Matt Morris with 2 down. The Aflac trivia question here in the bottom of the 4th. Named the only player in Cardinals history to hit 2 triples in 1 inning. The Aflac trivia question. So here's Bobby Hill. Pirates picked him up from Chicago. Pirates gave up Kenny Lofton and Aramis Ramirez. Chicago sent back Hill and Jose Hernandez. Curveball misses low and away to Bobby Hill. Switch hitter. He flied to right his first time up, hitting .333 on the season. He was their top pinch hitter a year ago. That's a base hit into right field. So back-to-back singles.
Still like the fact that Matt is throwing strikes. He's trying to get people out on the first or second pitch. If he gets 2 strikes, he can work on that strikeout. He's fanned 4. There's 2 hits coming with 2 outs, and this is the 8th place hitter.
Berto Cota 0 for 1. Fly to center his first time up. He was their minor league player of the year back in 2001. Made 13 starts as the backup to Jason Kendall last season. And he missed 2 months of the season with a strained oblique muscle. So getting a chance now to play with Benito Santiago put on the DL. The ageless Benito Santiago. Pirates picked him up in a trade with Kansas City during the offseason. Runners at first and second. 1-0 pitch.
Talk about Cota having a oblique muscle strain last year. That's what he was on the disabled list for this year.
Right. Carried over. 1-1 the count. Matt Morris, a 15-game winner a season ago. Curveball is pulled foul. We're talking about Mark Mulder's age last night, only 27. Matt Morris is only 30. Sometimes we forget that. He's been around for such a long time.
His birthday is August the 9th. He'll turn 31.
The 1-2 is pulled foul. He worked out with a personal trainer in the offseason, lost a little bit of weight. It's in good shape. Career numbers for Morris as he approaches 200 starts in his major league career and approaching 100 wins. He could get that this year. Tony La Russa in his first season in St. Louis saw Matt Morris pitching in spring training, and they said, wait a minute, what do we have here? 2-2. And Morris Morris has been with Dave Duncan and Tony La Russa's entire major league career. He was shut down in 1999. He had that Tommy John surgery. In 2000, he came back in relief. And in 2001, he was a 22-game winner. 2-2 pitch with 2 on and 2 outs, and another strikeout, number 5 tonight for Matt Morris. Cardinals will have Reggie Sanders, Abraham Nunez, and Yadier Molina due up in the 5th.
You're watching Fox Sports Net.
Half-Life trivia question as we move to the 5th. Name the only Cardinal to hit 2 triples in an inning. To go back to a start by Al Hrabosky back in 1895. Heidi Pites, Al, helped you out in your cause.
Yeah, the interesting thing is I remember that game. I did start the game, and of course that was my final season. His career was just kind of taken off.
What kind of career did he have?
All-timers. I can't remember.
Hit the deep right field on the first pitch is Reggie Sanders, and he flies out to Matt Lutton. 1 pitch, 1 out. That's how we start the 5th inning. Reggie is 1 for 3, and he's just 8 hits away from 1,500 in his career. We talked about the bench last night, Al, and how Tony La Russa in his career has been magnificent in getting guys in positions to succeed, keeping his everyday lineup fresh. And it was Larry Walker last night, came off the bench, big hit, and starting in his place was So Taguchi, 3 hits. Well, tonight it's Abraham Nunez, and he's 2 for 2 with David Eckstein on the bench.
Well, Tony was a bench guy, so he knows how important it is to give these guys some at bats, so when they get into their normal roles as pinch hitters, they feel like they have a fighting chance. And then in the second half, when you're in the pennant race, you push your starters even further because they're well rested. But I think, a lot of people have shown concern at time about the Cardinal bench, but then as we've tried to point out, is when you have some of these good hitters rested, you do have that a lot more fortification on your bench than you would think, because you'd have somebody like a Walker last night, Eckstein, some of your regulars that are getting time off will be coming off that bench.
2-2 on the switch hitting Nunez. Walt Jocketty picked him up in the offseason. He made the club this spring. If you think about the duo of Tony La Russa and Walt Jocketty, the second longest tenured GM manager combination in baseball, only behind John Sherholtz and Bobby Cox. It's a walk to Nunez, 3rd time he has been on base tonight. And you think about 4 of the last 5 years for Tony and Walt, they've been to postseason play, 5 in the last 10. Pretty good run.
Dan, Josh Fogg to me is kind of like a 6th inning pitcher, and with the pitch count has to be at 100 if not over.
He was at 70 in the 3rd.
Yeah, so I mean, this is the inning you really got to, maybe his final inning of work, so you got to pound him. All 5 Cardinal runs tonight are unearned.
Fogg has dished out 3 walks. Here's Molina with 1 out, and the pitcher Matt Morris on deck. Check on Nunez. They know about his speed over there at first. Fogg has an above 500 career mark at 34 and 31 coming into this ball game tonight. That is pulled fair. Nunez around second, on his way to 3rd. They're going to wave him in. He's going to score easily from first base. We talked about the grass last night. Jim Leland, the advanced scout for St. Louis, who lives here in Pittsburgh, watches this team play on a nightly basis, was saying that the grass is a lot higher this year, and it'll catch that ball. Let's see if it does here, Al.
Well, it did. It really slowed him up out here, and then so it's a long run for Greg Wilson. I think O'Kindle was going to hold him up, but then when he got to saw how Wilson was playing it down the corners beyond our sidelines when they sent him home, and a good decision to do so. First RBI of the year for Molina.
That's a pick-me-up considering what he had the last time up. A couple runners on, and Just one out, couldn't bring him in. He struck out, but this time he delivers.
Say he missed third base. And home plate umpire's call. You see Randy Marsh pointing to the home plate umpire because he was down into the corner to make sure no fan interference or see the ball was played correctly in the corner. And I think that looks like definitive proof.
Matt Morris a chance to help himself. Leading by 5 runs are the Cardinals. It's 6-1. Corners are in for the Cardinal pitcher, who was grounded out twice, once to third and the other time back to Fogg. Fastball low. A left-hander throwing in the bullpen for the Pirates, as Yadier Molina brought in Nunez all the way from first base. And a pickoff, and Molina's back easily into second.
Looked like Molina was trying to get the attention of Oquendo or somebody, as if he wasn't comfortable with his lead. Watching guys, he's taking off and he's pointing like the second baseman, but it was a shortstop trying to. He could see the second baseman.
Morris a little flare into right field. Lawton coming over near the line makes the play. 2 outs. Back to the top of the order, and Mark Grudzielanek. Grudzielanek, a couple of runs scored, a pair of walks.
I'm not sure Oquendo was smiling as much as Molina, but he's having a little fun out there after picking up 3 hits last night and a hit and an RBI tonight. Telling him now 2 outs, ball hit, take off.
Grudzielanek batted leadoff for a while with Chicago. Did so with Montreal as well. So no stranger to this spot in the order. 3.5 years with the Expos. And one of those seasons back in '97, he had 54 doubles to lead the major leagues. As a leadoff man, you ask him to take pitches, work the count, and that's the 19th pitch he has seen tonight.
4th at bat, so he's getting up in there. Seeing 4 and 5 pitches on bat. Al McRae. It's a little different than Mitchell Page. Both of them are very thankful to have the caliber of hitters that the Cardinals possess.
1-2 the count. Pitches by inning. Much different story for this right-hander as opposed to Matt Morris tonight. 100 even thrown by Josh Fogg. Al McRae watching Mark Grudzielanek from that Cardinal dugout. And the 1-2 pitch. Fought off and fouled. Grudzielanek, kind of a quiet guy, just goes about his business. He's had a very nice major league career. 3.5 years at Montreal, 4 with Los Angeles, the last 2 with the Chicago Cubs, signed as a free agent with St. Louis. And with the 1-2 count this year, a 200 average, so that's where he stands right now, 1-2. And he pulls it towards short. Wilson, long throw, great play. Heck of a play by Jack Wilson. He is smooth out there. Cardinals strand a man. Add another run. It's 6-1 Redbirds. Sunday, May 8th, the Cardinals will take on Woody Williams and the Padres at 1:15. It's also Mother's Day, and you can treat your favorite mom to a game, and she'll receive a fitness bag to carry everything she needs to the gym or to the game. All women 16 and over will receive this bag. For more information, give the Cardinals a call. Log on to their website at stlcardinals.com. A pinch hitter is up for the Pirates, and this is Chris Duffy, an outfielder. So Fogg's night is through. Over 100 pitches thrown by Fogg tonight as Duffy is in the hole, 0-2. Matt Morris has been ahead in the count the majority of the time, and he's been carving up people. He's got 5 strikeouts tonight. He's allowed 1 walk and just 4 hits.
A little surprising that Duffy is the only rookie on the active roster for the Pirates.
Where's that pitch? High agree with you. When they finished with 13 last year, and then a team that's struggling, you would figure you'd have to call them rebuilding. Some young talent's got to be in that lineup.
It's a continuous rebuilding.
12 consecutive years of under 500 baseball for the Pirates.
And the Pirates personnel say they're a much better team than they've played.
Swing and a miss. That's number 6. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Cardinals LLC and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of the game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals LLC.
They asked, and you talk to some of the media type around here, and they say, well, they are as bad as they've appeared.
As Lawton hits it right side, Pujols to Morris covering it first. 2 down.
The Pirates feel that they need a big bopper. So I asked Gerald Perry, I said, you know, okay, you need a big bopper. Who do you need? He said, well, Pujols or Roland or Edmonds. He said, we can't afford any of them. So it's kind of a catch-22. You know, you need that big bopper, but how are you going to acquire him? Because he's making too much money for the Pittsburgh's payroll.
Joe Perry, hitting coach in his 3rd season with the Pirates after 3 with Seattle. When Lou Piniella left, so did Gerald. He was such a good pinch hitter with St. Louis and in his career. With 2 outs, this is Jack Wilson, who was flied to right, popped out to second, 0 for 2. All-Star last year, the Silver Slugger Award winner at shortstop.
See how he's pitched inside so much more effectively. It might have been the hardest fastball we've seen at 90 miles an hour.
And he pulls it to Scott Rowland. High throw, and the Pirates go 1, 2, 3. We're through 5. Walker, Pujols, the big boys. Rowland coming up. This portion of Cardinals baseball on FSN Midwest is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Jack invites you to come in and experience ciabatta. It's all about the bread. And by your local Chrysler Jeep dealers. We're back at it again tomorrow night on FSN Midwest. The Cardinals and the Chicago Cubs. Live coverage begins at 5:30 with Cardinals tonight. All season long, tune into your home of the Cardinals, FSN Midwest. The Cards and the Cubs tomorrow from Busch. Left-hander John Graybaugh is into the ball game for Pittsburgh. Graybaugh has appeared in 5 games this season. ERA just under 5. First man he sees is Larry Walker. It'll be Walker, Pujols, and Rowland. Larry tonight, pair of RBIs. Picked up a bases loaded single back in the 2nd, reached on an air in the 4th, and grounded out to short. The 2-0 pitch. Nowhere near home plate. 3-0. Larry off to a sluggish start at 237 with a homer. 5 RBIs. Right down the middle. Strike 1. We're at PNC Park in Pittsburgh. This is the smallest ballpark in Major League Baseball, next to Fenway in the majors. Capacity of 38,127. We've got about 10,000 here tonight.
It's a beautiful ballpark, great setting, looking into the downtown from across the river.
Built right on the banks of the Allegheny. That gorgeous downtown skyline of Pittsburgh.
Skyline has really evolved over the last 35 years.
Walker strikes out after he was ahead in the count 3-0.
Graybaugh set a club rookie record for the most appearances by a left-hander last year, 68.
Here's Albert Pujols with 1 out, nobody on. Albert, RBI tonight, a pair of hits, 2 for 3. Popping a lot of balls up. I mean, some major league pop-ups. After this at bat, we'll go pitch by pitch and show you what Pujols does against Graybo. 1 ball, 1 strike. Scott rolling on deck. Cardinals will have Jeff Suppan in that ball game tomorrow night against Carlos Zambrano. Chris Carpenter in the day game on Thursday against Ryan Dempster. Both those games on FSN. Yikes.
Did he try to overthrow that one?
Did you see Felix Heredia the other day? 3 wild pitches. Then later he said his thumb was hurting.
Yeah.
But I think that this young man did try to overthrow that just slightly. 2-1 the count. Cardinals leading 6-1. Pujols out in front. Good pitch.
Good changeup right there.
Threw him another one, and Pujols fouled it back. How many times are you going to fool Albert on back-to-back pitches? He makes some of the best adjustments, Al, we've ever seen at pitch to pitch, at bat to at bat.
Well, but you touched on it. You know, he's a little out of whack.
Pulls this one hard to the third baseman, Bobby Hill. 2 down.
Graybo kind of started going after him. He started with the fastball and doesn't get the call there. 91. Then a fastball down and away. 1-1 count. Then he tried to overthrow that one. It was supposed to be inside. Then we start doing the changeups and fouled it off, and finally got another changeup and got him to ground to third base.
Pitch by pitch feature brought to you by your Mid-America Chevrolet dealers. 2 outs, nobody on as we play here in the top of the 6th. Scott Rowland with an RBI this evening. He's flied a couple of times to center field. Graybo from San Gabriel, California. Drafted in the 3rd round back in '97 out of high school by the Pirates. 6'2", 205. Hard throwing lefty. Rowland hits it hard to short, taken there by Wilson. And for the first time tonight, the Cardinals go 1-2-3. Bay, Makoviak, and Wilson coming up for Pittsburgh. AFSN Midwest brings you all the excitement, drama, and athleticism of professional beach volleyball. See the sport's biggest stars compete head-to-head in the AVP Nissan Series 05, beginning Saturday at 1 on FSN Midwest. Just over 60 pitches thrown tonight by Matt Morris. He's been efficient. Cardinals lead it 6-1. That's going to help out. Nunez from the outfield grass. Long throw. Good play by Abraham Nunez.
It looked relatively easy, and got good throwing arm from the outfield grass.
I'll tell you what, Morris looks fantastic. He struck out 6. A lot of ground ball outs, which is what we were used to and accustomed to seeing with Matt Morris.
6 strikeouts.
Here's Makoviak. First pitch, he pops it up down the left field line. Rowland's going to give it a chase, and out of play. Makoviak is walked and struck out back in the 4th. Pirates were concerned as far as him wearing down, being an everyday player. He hit just 165 in the final 48 games last season. Had a very good start.
How the Pirates kind of tailed off the last 4 months.
Oh, 1 pitch. Morris tonight, 5 1/3, 4 hits, 1 run allowed. That was the home run by Darrell Ward. 1 walk and 6 strikeouts.
See how he's pitched. He's throwing on both sides of the plate. He's changed speeds well with the breaking ball. You don't need all the velocity if you can locate.
Another ground ball. Grudzielanek. 2 outs. Middle of the lineup both last night and this evening has been neutralized by Cardinal pitching. Pitches by inning, just 6 so far here in the 6th inning. In steps Craig Wilson. Wilson had 7 pinch hit home runs back in 2001. The fans were wanting him to get a chance to play every day, and he did so last year. He's got very good power. Led their team in home runs and runs scored a season ago. It's hit and miss, though, with Wilson many times. He set a franchise record 169 strikeouts last year. Balls behind here, 0-2.
Batted .352 against the Cardinals last year.
0-2 pitch. He got him. 7 strikeouts for Matt Morris tonight. Terrific outing. We move to the 7th. Edmonds, Sanders, Nunez coming up. Cardinals lead it by 5 runs. 6-1 Cardinals, top of the 7th. Matt Morris's night looks like it's through as Ray King is tossing in the bullpen. This is our Hardy's hot pitch of the game. 7 strikeouts from Matt Morris right down the middle against Craig Wilson. Great outing tonight, Al, by Matty Moe.
That's the only way you can interpret it. And if you get Matt Morris doing what he did tonight on a consistent basis, Mulder last night, and the other 3 starters doing what they've done on this road trip. Cardinal starters on this road trip had an ERA of 1.
Terrific.
And the bullpen's been good too.
This season, your St. Louis area Hyundai dealers and FSN Midwest give fans a chance to win a Hyundai SUV. It's the Hyundai Long Drive Inning Sweepstakes. Stop by your St. Louis area Hyundai dealers to register today.
Ryan Meadows throws like he did last night. We'll have multiple winners this inning.
Meadows lasted a 1/3 of an inning as he started that 9th inning, and the Cardinals piled on. It was a 2-1 game at that point, and then the Cardinals would win it 11-1.
Gave up 6 runs in that 1/3 of an inning.
Edmonds started things tonight with a home run.
Remember, he retired the first man he faced in the 9th, Taguchi. So this is his 8th appearance already. His ERA was 5 yesterday. Now it's over 14. And he's had more appearances than innings pitched.
Edmonds high in the air to center field. Jason Bay is there for the first out. That's how we start the 7th. Purchase authentic game use seats from Busch Stadium, where you enjoyed so many great moments in Cardinals history. They're $470 per pair, includes shipping nationwide, mounting brackets and hardware, bracket assembly instructions. Seats will arrive within 4 weeks of the conclusion of the season, and you can purchase yours by calling 421-2400 at the Busch Stadium ticket office or online at stlcardinals.com.
Sold out the owner's suite. Maybe we can sell out all the seats.
Some great memories, obviously, at Busch Stadium as Reggie slices this one foul and out of play. I'd like to add to that this year as Ray King is getting loose in the bullpen. Haven't seen him for quite some time. These starters have been very, very good on the road trip, as you noted, Al. An ERA of 1 combined coming into this game. Last time we saw King was last Wednesday against Cincinnati. Reggie is 1 for 3 with a double. Ray King was not with the club for a couple of days over the weekend. Rejoined him. He needs some work, and the Cardinals lead it 6-1. This is the perfect opportunity.
Asked Ray, I told Ray, I said, don't tell me what it was, just tell me everything's okay. He said everything's okay.
Good. 1-2 the count on Sanders.
Nice and easy now, Ray. Let's go. Nice and easy.
Couple of finals done in the National League. Colorado over Arizona 6-1. Los Angeles beat Milwaukee 8-6. So Milwaukee's dropped 5 straight as Reggie hits it left side for a base hit. 2-hit night for Reggie Sanders. 9 hits this evening collectively by St. Louis. And it brings in Nunez.
Bobby Hill dives to that ball, gets underneath his glove, and he's trying to lobby for more playing time.
We saw Ty Wigginton at third base last night. Bobby Hill tonight. Now it's Nunez. Big night for Abraham. Couple runs scored. Been on base 3 times. 2 hits. Make it 3 hits. He laces it up the middle and into center field. Back-to-back singles for the Cardinals.
And just like last night, Meadows retired the first man, and then the hit parade started. Gave up 4 consecutive hits. Then he walked 2 guys before he being taken out.
Pirates have not played well at all in the field. And it started early on with Josh Fogg throwing this one into center field. Then miscommunication on a double for Albert Pujols. Matt Lawton missing a cut. That one, though, would not come back to haunt them. Just little things in this game. Fogg again throws it to the second baseman. That allows a run to score, and what would have been a double play. And Molina pulls it foul. Yadier Molina has an RBI and a run scored. Looks a lot better the last couple of nights.
Oh, it looked a lot better late last night. He got his hits.
He had a couple of hard hit balls to start the game last night. Then he was rewarded with a couple of hits.
3 consecutive, his last 3 plate appearances. He's got 1 again tonight.
And he went around in the hole, 0-2. Runners at first and second. 1 out, top of the 7th. Cardinals leading by 5. Inning started with a fly out by Edmonds, then back-to-back hits for Sanders and Nunez, and the 0-2 pitch to Molina. Swing and a miss. He strikes out. 2 down, and it'll bring in a pinch hitter for the Cardinals. It's going to be Roger Cedeno. Cedeno with one of the big hits in that 9th inning last night. He cleared the bases with a RBI double that played at 3. Meadows is the 3rd pitcher used by the Pirates tonight. Ray King is loose in the Cardinals bullpen. As Matt Morris's night is through, he struck out 7 and he walked 1, allowed 1 run. That was the home run by Darrell Ward back in the 2nd inning. He was about as good as we could expect he was going to be tonight in his debut.
He retired the last 7 men he faced. Darrell Ward's only his homer and the blemish. How about Cedeno, the production he's had? 2 hits, but 4 RBIs.
Mentioned that Roger Cedeno, a big contributor late in the ball game in that 11-1 victory yesterday. Chance to do some more damage here tonight. Runners at first and second. 1-0 pitch. Roger grounds it right side. Race to the bag, and Meadows is there. Cardinals strand 2. They have left 8 in this game. Time to stretch in Pittsburgh. 6-1 Birds. Cardinals lead it by the score of 6-1. If you'd like to win Cardinals tickets and participate in the Southwest Airlines Family of the Game promotion during a Cardinals home game, here's your chance. Send your name, address, and phone number to Southwest Airlines Family of the Game, P.O. Box 771192, St. Louis, Missouri 63177. Good luck from Southwest Airlines. Cardinal Baseball, a production of Bud Sports and an exclusive presentation of FSN Midwest. Ray King finishing his warm-up tosses. Dan McLaughlin, Al Raboski, Joe Goldberg with you, and our Bud Sports crew of Tom Meave, Mike Helling, Brian McCann, Doug Stanton, Lindsey Polite, doing a great job these last couple of days. This will be the 6th appearance of the season for Ray King.
Nice job for picking up where he did last year, where he had 32 holds last season, ranked 2nd in the National League, team leader with 86 games pitched, 2nd in the National League, and held left-handed batters to a 150 average a year ago with no home runs.
It was the 3rd time that Ray King had been over 80 appearances, a career high 86, as you mentioned, Al, a season ago. He was terrific for the Cardinals. Part of the deal that brought Jason Marquis to St. Louis. Cardinals sent outfielder J.D. Drew and Eli Marrero to the Braves. They got King Marquis and Adam Wainwright.
And the Braves have neither one of those players now, and Cardinals have them contributing.
Eli is in Kansas City. JD in Los Angeles. Walker is there. First time that Ward has been retired. Let's check in with Joe Goldberg.
Hi guys, I'm way up in the middle of nowhere up here, and obviously not a lot for the fans to be excited about, as you can see by the empty stands, but we thought we would flash back to a great moment in Pirate history. 1960, maybe the greatest play in Pirates history, as Bill Mazeroski steps up in the bottom of the ninth, Game 7 of the World Series, and he ends up smacking that home run to beat the Yankees. It was a tie game, and Maz was the hero in that game, as the Cardinals right now flying out to, or the Pirates flying out to left field. But that was a great moment in Pirates history for sure. Unfortunately, there haven't been a whole lot of exciting memories since then. I'm sitting out here in the stands. It's empty. Plenty of seats available when the Cardinals come back in August, so I think I'm just going to have some nachos and kick it back to you guys. If you guys want me to bring some up to you, I can.
Joel, thank you. So we talked about this is the 5th ballpark for the Pirates since their inception back in 1887. Most fans know about Forbes Field and Three Rivers Stadium, and now PNC Park. I absolutely love this ballpark. It's just unfortunate that they don't have a team to bring the fans out. We only had a crowd last night of 11,000 plus. Seems to be smaller this evening. Good slider in there from Ray King. 1 ball, 1 strike. This is Coda, and a swing and a miss. He's in the hole, 1-2. Bobby Hill flied out along with Ward. Been a good night for St. Louis. Contributions across the board. 10 hits tonight for the Cardinals. As that one is foul out of play.
I just want all these guys to focus on completing this ball game and have a perfect road trip to 5-0. Come home in first place. A lot of Cardinal fans were worried about this team when they left for this road trip.
A little different story coming back.
Yeah, I think so.
Ray King this December signed a 2-year contract with the Cardinals. Includes a club option for 2007. As the Redbirds said goodbye to Steve Klein. Looked like Molina may have been crossed up. The way that he received that. 2-2. Even with nobody on, he looked to be crossed up.
Off-speed pitch. Fastball away. Coda, last year when he teamed up with Oliver Perez, he became only 1 of 5 all-Mexican batteries in Major League history.
And Perez is one of the bright spots for the Pirates. I mean, strikeout pitcher, can be dominating at times. That's a guy out you could probably build your rotation around, Perez, but after that seems to be slim pickings.
Well, they still have hope for Kip Wells, and last night started Dave Williams pitched very well, and that was lost in the 9th inning, 9 runs. Perez is 0-2 with an ERA over 9. He's much better than that.
Into left center field, that could be extra bases. It will. Coda around first. That's going to go to the wall, the deepest part of the park. Coda's thinking 3. Relay coming in. He's going to be in there. 2-out triple. First hit for Coda in 2005.
Big spacious ballpark, and the deepest part is right out there in left center. Ball out away from him, off-speed pitch, and he stroked it that way, and it gets between the 2 outfielders and all the way to the wall.
Pinch hitter Ty Wigginton will dig in with 2 outs, a runner at third base. Here in the bottom of the 7th. Wigginton was part of the Chris Benson deal a season ago. The .261 with 17 homers. On the first pitch he sees, he grounds it to short. Some boos for Ty Wigginton and the Pirates. Cardinals have the top of the order due up in the top of the 8th. These three have been on 6 times tonight. Grudzielanek, Walker, and of course the big bat of Albert Pujols. 6-1 Redbirds. Top of the 8th. Cardinals leading by the score of 6-1. Ryan Vogelsong, the right-hander for the Pirates, will come into this ball game. A look at his numbers. Last night didn't help. ERA over 11 in his 4 appearances. Working out of the bullpen this year. He's been a starter also in his career, and opponents hitting .320 against him.
As a reliever, he's 0-3, ERA over 5, and this is 28th career relief appearance. His debut in 05 was very good as he retired 9 of 10 Milwaukee batters faced, making a season debut on opening day, April the 4th. Long time ago.
I mentioned some of these trades that the Pirates have made, and it just hasn't worked out with some of the big names that they have given up. Vogelsong, one of them. The Pirates sent Jason Schmidt and John Vanderwall to the Giants and got Vogelsong and then Armando Rios.
Right. Rios, it seemed like the next day, tore his knee up. Big Schmidt. I think he's done all right out there.
He's done pretty well in the cool air of San Francisco. Grudzielanek has been on base a couple of times, fights this off, and that ball is going to get down for a hit. 3rd time that Mark Grudzielanek has been aboard, the leadoff man tonight.
His first hit. Grudzielanek, all of his hits this season have come in Cardinal wins, so maybe that's a good omen. So we're here batting in the 8th, leading by 5.
This has been the problem for Vogelsong in his career. Left-handed hitters. ERA against lefties in his career is over 6.
There's a lot of good left-handed hitters too. He's going to face a couple of them in this inning.
Walker takes a ball, 2-0. Much better though this year. Lefties 143, righties 389. 2 balls, no strikes on Walker, and a swing and a miss.
That's like when you come home with your report card with 4 F's and a D, and your dad tells you you've been working too much on one subject.
2-1 the count on Walker. He had a big RBI base hit that played at 2 with the bases loaded in the 2nd. Has reached on an error, struck out, and grounded to short. 3-1 with Pujols on deck. We've had 3 walks in this game, and all 3 have scored for St. Louis. I believe that was number 15 on the handle of the bat. That would mean Edmonds' bat that Larry Walker was using. So he draws a walk, and the first 2 have reached.
And one of Jim's bats earlier this week, last week, he was swinging Albert's bat, maybe at home.
1st and 2nd for Pujols. Couple of hits tonight for Albert. Fly to center and grounded to 3rd. His 2 doubles, thanks in part to Craig Wilson. Balls that easily could have been caught.
How deep Wilson is.
Boy, is he deep in left. You're right. First pitch, a strike to Pujols. Say he's struggling. He's still hitting .271 with 3 homers and 6 RBIs. Runners at 1st and 2nd. 0-1 pitch to Albert. Cardinals will head home tonight on the charter flight to St. Louis. Early start tomorrow, 6 o'clock at Busch Stadium between the Cards and the Cubs. 5:30 with our pregame coverage. Jeff Suppan and Carlos Zambrano. The 1-1 in the dirt, blocked by Cota. Inning started with a blue pit by Grudzielanek. Walker drew the walk. Pujols ahead in the count. 2 balls and a strike. Albert rips it into left field. That's a base hit. Grudzielanek being waved home. He will score easily. It's 7-1 St. Louis. RBI for Pujols, his second in this game. And that's 7 on the year.
We talked about how deep that Wilson was playing in left, so once that ball got to the outfield grass, Grudzielanek was going to score easily. And when you get that deep into a count, look at that, just how no wasted motion there, good center of balance, hands are back. He'll hit the ball hard most of the time.
3-hit night for Albert. Here's Scott Rowland. First and second for him. Still nobody out. Rowland hits it to the opposite field. It's well hit. Lawton going back. Walker will tag up from second. They trot on over to third base. Runners at the corners now with 1 out for Jim Edmonds. Edmonds all the way back in the second with a solo home run. He's 1 for 4. It was just like last night. Edmonds would start the second inning with a home run. Here tonight, same thing. Opposite field shot. Jim with 5 home runs and 10 RBIs on the season. Chance to add to it here.
Just throw him a good strike and just see what he can do with it.
Two 2-0. This entire series, it seems like the Pirates have been pitching behind in the count, not aggressive.
That's what happens when you're afraid to pitch to contact.
2-1.
Try and make those perfect pitches. And you're trying to hit the corners, and you start out ball 1 and ball 2. Then you got to come into a good hitter with the count in his favor. You're in trouble. Probably change up.
Hitters count still 2-1. Change up in 3-1. It's 7-1 Cardinals, a 12-hit attack tonight. Trying to make it a perfect road trip.
Fastball in when you got to throw a strike, that's dangerous.
Way inside to Jim Edmonds.
Ball 4.
Yeah, and he's limping though. He may have tweaked his knee trying to get out of the way of that pitch. Running slowly down to first, so the bases are loaded. Of course, Jimmy's had those knee problems in the past, and here's Reggie Sanders.
Swing of the bat, we could have the same score that Tony won his 801st game as a Cardinal with last night.
Strike to Reggie. Sanders is struck out, double, fly to right, and single. Bases loaded for Reggie. In the dirt. Tony La Russa 21 wins away from Whitey Herzog on the all-time wins list in St. Louis. After that, Red Shandy's the all-time leader.
He won't catch Red this year, but he will catch up to 3rd spot on the all-time list. Major League wins.
comes a 1-1 pitch. Outside. 2-1. Vogelsong has got a live arm. He throws in the mid-90s. But he just picks. Even when he was a starter, he never was aggressive.
You just, you like the arm, but you don't like the way he uses it.
2-1 pitch. The body language is down as this pitcher is pitching behind in the count, and the fact that they've been outscored 18-2 in this game.
Yeah, they're just,
or in this series, I should say.
Get everybody just, hard to stay into it or get ready to get a good jump on balls.
Here comes a 2-2. Upstairs to Reggie Sanders. And with one out, the bases loaded. A full count on Reggie. Abraham Nunez on deck.
Jason Bay working on his hitting out in center.
All kinds of room, by the way, in left center field as he shades Reggie to the opposite field. Big gap out there. All right, here we go. A 3-2 pitch coming to Sanders with the bases loaded and one out. Here it comes. Good cut. With a full count, plate appearances 8 times this has happened for Reggie. 167 average.
One hit, a couple walks, strikeout. There's only one out here. It's where, you get yourself in trouble when you get these good hitters. Then they can get into a predictable count, have a better guess at what you're going to throw them.
Taps it foul. When Reggie used to always be staring at the top of his bat when he was wiggling it. He doesn't do that anymore. Used to use that as kind of a mechanism to get ready. Not as much movement at the plate this season.
And sometimes you evolve as a hitter. Get a little older and you kind of have to change your tricks.
Here's the 3-2. Double play ball. Wilson. Turn at second. Double play. Bottom of the 8th is coming up from Pittsburgh. The Cardinals lead it by the score of 7-1. Cardinals baseball on FSN Midwest was brought to you by Anheuser-Busch, saluting America's responsible drinkers. Responsibility matters. And by SBC Business Unlimited. Unlimited local service, toll, and nationwide long distance for $48.95 per month. Clemente Bridge at PNC Park. They shut that down for about 3.5 hours prior to game time and then during the game as the fans make their way from downtown across the river. Al Reyes will take over, 6th appearance this season. A story of persevering through so many different aspects of minor league baseball, and obviously here with St. Louis as well. He was lights out with Memphis last year, worked as their closer, actually was an all-star, was called up as So Taguchi takes over in right field. And Al, he was very, very good at the end of last season.
It really opened up some eyes, and remember he got some of those thankless starts where starting Colorado where he wasn't conditioned to be a starter. So he threw 3 perfect innings.
Attendance tonight at 12,285. 0-2 is the count on Lawton. 12,285. Lawton is 1 for 3. He got him. 3 pitches, went right after him. Coming up, Midwest Sports Report following our ball game here in Pittsburgh on FSN Midwest. Measurables that matter as we talk about the NFL draft. Star of the game with Joe Goldberg in our post-game recap here from PNC Park. All part of the Midwest Sports Report a little later. Reyes is the 3rd pitcher used for St. Louis. 4 pitches, 4 strikes to start his inning. Took over for Ray King, had a scoreless 7. And Matt Morris' story tonight, 6 innings. He struck out 7, only 4 hits allowed. Curveball misses in to Jack Wilson.
Cardinal bullpen is not allowed to run in his last 13 innings over the last 7 games.
Let me give you some of the stops here for Al Reyes. St. Louis, Memphis, Durham, the Yankees, Columbus, the Pirates, Nashville, the Dodgers, Vegas, Albuquerque, the Dodgers again, Rochester, Baltimore, Louisville, Milwaukee, Tucson, Harrisburg, Burlington, and Albany.
Well traveled.
Yes. 2-2.
Tell you, he's got clothes at the ballpark, in his car. You know, he's always been afraid to kind of get a place because he's gone awfully quick. But every time he's pitched in the big leagues, he's pitched pretty well.
That's 2 strikeouts. Talked to Ray King about Al Reyes. Those two were teammates in Milwaukee, and he said one of those stories that he just never understood why he didn't stick around, because like you said, Al, and I guess Ray saw it firsthand in Milwaukee, he had success.
Well, and he never says a word, so not like he's a troublemaker or anything that way. He just pitches, and you know, it's kind of always an afterthought. Like Tampa Bay, he was pitching last year in AAA for Tampa Bay, and he had an escape clause, which he exercised, and that's how he got to Memphis.
Swing and a miss by Jason Bay, and Reyes is a strike away from striking out the side here in the bottom of the 8th. Bay is 0 for 3. Good pitch, trying to get him to chase with 2 strikes. Last season with Memphis, he was used as their closer. He had 23 saves before being called up. He was an all-star. He got him. Strikes out the side here in the 8th. Great work by the Rays. 9th inning coming up. 7-1 Cards. 7-1 St. Louis, our Bank of America Higher Standard game recap. Matt Morris, one of the big stories here tonight. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run. He struck out 7, and Al, he was sharp from the get-go.
Well, the opposite of the Pirate pitchers, he was in attack mode, throwing a lot of strikes, but they were quality strikes. Both sides of the plate, changing speeds. He had 7 strikeouts. Pirates have struck out 10 on the night, and Matt Morris, this is any indication of how his season is going to be. We're all going to be for a lot of fun.
Back to live action. Nunez reaches for the 5th time.
His 4th hit and a walk.
And he's one of the stories this evening in his return to Pittsburgh. So 4 singles for Nunez and a walk, and 2 runs scored. That was a rope.
Yep. Over here, Koviak tries to make a nice play, but he was hustling down the line and beat the throw.
Brings in Molina. Was so Taguchi as a pinch hitter, or rather the man on deck. He took over in right field for Walker. The Mets, the amazing Mets in Philadelphia, have set a team record 7 home runs in their game tonight. They lead the Phillies 16-4 in the top of the 7th. Finals in baseball. Los Angeles beat Milwaukee after being down by 6 runs. They win it 8-6. Texas blanked Oakland 3-0. Kansas City over Cleveland 6-5. Colorado beat Arizona 8-1. And it was Seattle 5, Anaheim 3. Those are your finals. Cubs leading their game at Cincinnati 6-1, top of the 8th. A ball and 2 strikes on Molina.
Good rip there.
Molina has reached on an air and scored as an RBI double back in the 5th. We welcome Chicago to town tomorrow. Carlos Zambrano and Jeff Suppan will come your way at 5:30.
Chicago has a 6-run lead, batting in the 8th inning at Cincinnati.
Atlanta and Houston tied at 1, top of the 5th.
Remember, tomorrow is an early start. 6:10 start with pregame show. Cardinals tonight, half hour early, 5:30.
5:30. 2-2 on Molina. Molina got a piece, stays alive. Randy Flores throwing in the Cardinal bullpen.
Wouldn't hurt to have another day off for Izzy. Let Flores finish the 9th inning. Have he and Tavares and Ray King, everybody ready for Chicago.
When inside on the last pitch, set up outside. Molina spoils it. Some long faces in that Pirates dugout.
Well, it's one thing to get beat, but they're helping to contribute to their losses.
Have not played well in this series. Molina hit to the opposite way. That's a base hit. Nunez helped that out with some pretty good base running. Rob King is standing by with a look at the Midwest Sports Report.
All right, come.
All right, Rob, thank you. Runners at first and second as time is called.
Oh, whose shoe? Is it a spike? I just thought of something. You know, if you want to help your hitting, you have an appendectomy or break a rib.
Worked for Reg Heats, worked for Abraham Nunez. Nunez on base 5 times tonight.
Another multi-hit game for Molina.
Here's Taguchi. He had a 3-hit night. The ball game last night. Diving play and a force play at third. Nicely done over there. That saves a run and takes a hit away from Taguchi. Good play by Bobby Hill.
See how far off the line he is. He takes a couple steps and dives for that ball and gets to his feet. Gets a force out at third base. So tough luck for Taguchi.
Back to the top of the order, Grudzielanek on base 3 times tonight. He scored 3 runs.
One for 3, but a pair of walks, and he came around to score in both of those. And he singled his last time up and scored.
1-0 pitch. They get 2-0. Pirates will have Makoviak, Wilson, and Ward. They're half of the 9th. They trail here 7-1. Cardinals with runs in the 2nd, the 4th, the 5th, and the 8th. Trying to add to it. Grudzielanek hits it into right. Lawton going back. They'll make the play. Runners back to 2nd and 1st. There's 2 outs, and it brings in John Mabry. He'll be the pinch hitter, so we'll see a new pitcher for St. Louis in the bottom half of this inning. Mabry will pinch hit for Reyes, who struck out the side in the bottom of the 8th. He looked good.
Both those hits have come as pinch hitters. He also has a pinch hit walk.
Runners at 1st and 2nd for Mabry. Check swing. And he went around as they appealed down to third base.
No doubt about that one.
No balls and a strike. Mabry with the big hit. Home opener. Good to see him play the outfield the other day. That hamstring feeling better. 0-1 the count. Mabry hits it sharply to Ward. A flip to the pitcher, covering at first. That's Vogelsong, and it's 7-1 as we head to the bottom of the ninth. Due up for the Pirates. Makoviak, the cleanup man. Then we'll see the left fielder Craig Wilson. We hope to finish it off with Darryl Ward. 7-1 St. Louis. Cardinals will turn it over in the ninth to Randy Flores. This will be his 4th appearance on the year. ERA is over 8, but hasn't had a lot of help in that department. A couple of catchable balls did not go his favor, and his ERA jumped, but opponents only hitting .222 Al against him.
Yeah, he gave up that 3-run home run, but got the ERA up there.
Just to Pat Burrell.
See, he needs some work. 26 pitches on Wednesday, and then a couple more over the weekend. He's 29. He'll turn 30 on July the 31st. So not a lot of big league time, but he has been with Texas, Colorado, now St. Louis. Did a nice job last year at the end of the season, getting called up.
Last season, 9 games, 14 innings pitched. He had an ERA under 2 in those games,
and including the start, the last game of the season.
Ground ball to short. Over to first. Good play by Nunez. First man retired. Let's turn to our play of the game, brought to you by Bud Light. Where do you think we go?
This is Pittsburgh.
This is one of their highlights.
This is the play of the game for Pittsburgh right here. Nice going. He'll have a contract and be in uniform tomorrow.
Bullpen is set the last 5 down.
That fan actually played left field better than Craig Wilson.
And Wilson's had a tough night. A couple of balls that were catchable off the bat of Albert Pujols dropped for Devils. He struck out twice tonight. Randy was picked by the Cardinals back in June of '96, but returned to USC for his senior year. He became the winningest pitcher in the school's history, did Randy Flores.
He walked on to that baseball team in '94. Record-holding career wins. Also the Trojans' career leader in innings pitched.
1-2 the count on Wilson.
Pac-10 pitcher of the year in 1995.
Average time a game on this road trip 2:33, and right now we're at 2.5. As Wilson spoils the pitch, hits it out of play. A ball and 2 strikes. Cardinals trying to improve to 8-4 and have a perfect road trip at 5-0. They were tremendous last year on the road.
That'd be 6-1 on the road for the season and 7-2 in the Central Division.
Big night for Nunez and Matt Morris. Nunez on base 5 times, filling in for Eckstein, who's on the bench this evening. Swing and a miss. 3rd time that Wilson is struck out. That's 11 strikeouts in this lineup tonight for the Pirates.
Bullpen continues to throw zeros up there and racking up strikeouts.
7 by Morris, 3 by Al Reyes, another here by Flores. It's up to Ward. First pitch upstairs.
I think this was correct. Last season, I think the Cardinals on the road were 52-26.
With 53 wins at home. Right down the middle, 1 ball, 1 strike. Ward is 2 for 3 on the night. Look at the starters. Morris got the better of the matchup. And the 1-1 is popped up. Shallow center field. The Cardinals go 5-0 on this road trip. 7-1 our final. We're back with more in a moment. The Cardinals are now 8-4 in 2005.